Soloma and Baruka Royal Hebrew Family, welcome back to Hebrew History Channel. This is a production by your sister Raya. We'll look into the sacred text written of the chosen people of YAHUA. Let's continue this exciting saga of Abraham and his family. For those that have not seen Hebrew History Channel's presentation of Exiled and Banished, Hagar's Defiant Path, let me catch you up to speed. Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian maidservant, bore Abraham's first son, Ishma'al, during Sarah's infertility. Later, Sarah gave birth to Yisaaq, leading to rising tensions between her and Hagar. At Yisaaq's weaning celebration, Sarah saw Ishma'al mocking him, threatening to slay little Yisaaq. Fearing for her son's life and his inheritance, she demanded Abraham send Hagar and Ishma'al away. Reluctantly, Abraham banished them to the wilderness of Beersheba. Abraham hears from YAHUA to hearken unto Sarah, his wife, and that Ishma'al would also become a great nation. Despite his distress, Abraham obeyed Sarah's request for the sake of Yisaaq's safety. Genesis 21:10. Jasher 21:11-16. And Ishma'al, the son of Abraham, was grown up in those days. He was 14 years old when Sarah bare Yisaaq to Abraham, and Aloha was with Ishma'al, the son of Abraham. And he grew up, and he learned to use the bow, and became an archer. And when Yisaaq was 5 years old, he was sitting with Ishma'al at the door of the tent. And Ishma'al came to Yisaaq and seated himself opposite to him. And he took the bow and drew it, and put the arrow in it, and intended to slay Yisaaq. Sarah saw the act which Ishma'al desired to do to her son Yisaaq, and it grieved her exceedingly on account of her son. And she sent for Abraham, and said to him, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for her son shall not be heir with my son. For thus did he seek to do unto him this day. Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. And he rose up early in the morning, and he took 12 loaves, and a bottle of water, which he gave to Hagar, and sent her away with her son. And Hagar went with her son to the wilderness, and they dwelt in the wilderness of Paran with the inhabitants of the wilderness. And Ishma'al was an archer, and he dwelt in the wilderness a long time. Jubilees 17:1-16. Abraham was distressed by Sarah's request, as Ishma'al was his firstborn son. However, YAHUA instructed Abraham to heed Sarah's voice, assuring him that Ishma'al would also become a great nation. Genesis 21:12-13. And YAHUA said unto Abraham, Let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah hath said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice, for in Yisaaq shall thy seed be called, and also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. The Ishmaelites became a great nation. It was a promise kept by the Most High. The ancient bloodline of Ishma'al's descendants are the ancient Arabs presiding in Yemen, parts of Arabia, Egypt, and some in so-called Middle East to this very day. Could the banishment of Hagar and Ishma'al have fostered deep-seated hatred towards Yisaaq's descendants? Could this exile have fueled animosity, driving Ishma'al's descendants to join the Psalm 83 confederacy to oppress Yisaaq's children through Yaakov's lineage? Furthermore, could the Hagarites and Ishmaelites, later known as Arabs, have allied with Yisaaq's adversaries, leading to their involvement in the Jacobite sub-Saharan Arab slave trade? which persisted for over 1,300 years. Let's explore the sacred text. Psalm 83, 1-8. Keep not thou silence, O Yah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yah. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharal may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarines, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. So, now let's continue with the ultimate test of Abraham, son of Tarach. After the banishment of Hagar and Ishma'al, a great feast was given, and Abraham's son Yisaaq was promised the inheritance of his father, and to him will be given all that belongs to Abraham. The celebration was to announce to all the land of Canaan that Yisaaq is the chosen covenant seed of Abraham. Yisaaq grew and was a righteous man. Abraham taught him the ways of their people and to love YAHUA. Jasher 22:40. And Yisaaq the son of Abraham was growing up in those days, and Abraham his father taught him the way of YAHUA, to know YAHUA, and YAHUA was with him. In those days Ishma'al would visit his father Abraham and his brother Yisaaq in the land of Canaan on many occasions. Ishma'al would challenge the rightful place of Yisaaq and taunt his position within the family. In Jasher 22:41-45, Ishma'al was boasting to Yisaaq. Yisaaq was 37 years old. Ishma'al boasted to him, recalling that he was 13 when YAHUA instructed their father to circumcise them, claiming he obeyed wholeheartedly. Yisaaq responded by questioning Ishma'al's pride over such a minor act of the cutting of flesh from his body, emphasizing that he would willingly follow YAHUA's command if asked to be a sacrifice for his father Abraham. The Most High approved of Yisaaq's words and decided to test Abraham on this matter. But someone else was listening to the words of Yisaaq. Can you guess who? The Prince of Mastema, aka the Devil. Jubilees 17:15-16. And it came to pass in the 7th week, in the 1st year thereof, 2003 a.m., in the 1st month in this Jubilee, on the 12th of this month, there were voices in heaven regarding Abraham, that he was faithful in all that he told him, and that he loved YAHUA, and that in every affliction he was faithful. And the Prince Mastema came and said before YAHUA, Behold, Abraham loves Yisaaq his son, and he delights in him above all things else. Bid him offer him as a burnt offering on the altar, and thou wilt see if he will do this command, and thou wilt know if he is faithful in everything wherein thou dost try him. This encounter is also recorded in the book of Jasher 22:46-55. And the devil was crafty, and said to YAHUA, And now that his son Yisaaq is born to him, he has forsaken you. He has made a great feast for all the inhabitants of the land, and YAHUA he has forgotten. For amidst all that he has done, he brought you no offering, neither burnt offering, nor peace offering, neither ox, lamb, nor goat, of all that he killed on the day that his son was weaned. From the time of his son's birth till now, being 37 years, He built no altar before you, nor brought any offering to you. For he saw that thou didst give what he requested before you, and he therefore forsook you. YAHUA said to Satan, Hast thou thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him upon earth, a perfect and an upright man before me, one that feareth YAHUA and avoideth evil. As I live, were I to say unto him, Bring up Yisaaq thy son before me, he would not withhold him from me. Much more if I told him to bring up a burnt offering before me from his flock or herds. And Satan answered YAHUA and said, Speak then now unto Abraham, as thou hast said, and thou wilt see whether he will not this day transgress and cast aside thy words. Jubilees 17:17 to 18. And YAHUA knew that Abraham was faithful in all his afflictions, for he had tried him through his country and with famine, and had tried him with the wealth of kings, and had tried him again through his wife, when she was torn from him, and with circumcision, and had tried him through Ishma'al and Hagar, his maidservant, when he sent them away. And in everything wherein he had tried him, he was found faithful, and his soul was not impatient, and he was not slow to act. For he was faithful and a lover of the Most High, YAHUA. End of part 1. All praises to the Most High, YAHUA, and glory to our beloved homage Yisaaq, Yahusha, our future King. So be it. Be sure to join me for part 2 of Yisaaq, the chosen covenant seed, the ultimate test. Thank you for watching. Soloma.